Warren Cox with ShineBrighter Leadership here today. We're going to talk a little bit about being positive while overcoming obstacles. Being positive in a negative situation, it's not naive, it's leadership. That's a wonderful quote that I really have always kind of taken to heart. First one is know your why. Remind yourself of your why periodically. Put it on your phone, on your iPad. Keep it with you, whatever it is. If it's something of an item you can take with you, keep in your pocket. Do something that's going to remind you of why we're doing what we do. There's less than 1% of people out there that do what we do. It's very hard, not just direct sales, but to go knock doors. It's really tough. So remind yourself frequently of your why. When you go get your granola bar in, your lunch break, your packed lunch, whatever, make sure that you're getting that motivation in as well. Remembering your why will help you focus on the big picture over a long term. Is also, it'll take those small losses, those immediate losses, and kind of harden you to over time to looking for that big win and that long-term goal that you have in mind. So growing up, my father was a Baptist preacher. He worked a lot. He was a welder as well, but he was also a pastor at a Baptist church as well. I grew up with an amazing upbringing. I remember one of the coolest things he ever said to me, and I've heard a few people say this after, is that the most important meal of the day is a big old bowl of self-esteem, a big old bowl of motivation. You don't deserve to eat until you've had your fill of motivation. So one of the things I love to do in the morning when I wake up is to make sure that I'm getting motivation in. That's one of the first things I like to do. I like to try to beat my family up. If I can, my daughters are starting to wake up earlier and earlier, but definitely beat the sun up, beat everyone up if you can. Start to get your motivation in before you even start to eat your breakfast. A lot of times it's good to put in a headset. There's awesome things like Audible, YouTube. You've got this channel. You can get all types of motivation in that you can hear while you're working out or while you're getting your breakfast in as well. So make sure that you're getting your morning big old bowl of self-esteem and motivation in. It's your most important meal of the day. Motivation. When it comes to motivation, don't limit yourself to one meal. Just like everything else, we want to keep our body healthy. We want to eat more than just one meal a day. I know there's a lot of different techniques now. I'm not a health consultant whatsoever, but it's always been known you got to eat more than just one time a day, right? You got to eat more than one just thing a day. It's the same way with motivation. Don't limit yourself to one meal. Eat at least 3 times daily. There's got to be times in there, especially if it's those days where you're out canvassing hardcore, you're on a long Saturday, when you're getting your lunch break in, when you're getting your water break in, make sure you're getting some motivation in as well. Know that remember your why, right, and know why you're doing this. Find a motivational mentor that helps build you up and communicate with them frequently as well, and do the same for them. Make sure that when you are speaking to your mentor, or if you're a mentor of some sort, that you're always doing it in a good light. You're always trying to motivate them, even if it's asking advice, or you're coming in with a situation or a problem. Always make sure that you're appreciating their solution and their advice, or whatever time that they're giving you. Make sure that when they leave speaking with you, that after they're done speaking with you, that they leave motivated as well, that they feel great, that they feel like they help someone out also. And we know the best source of motivation is when we are helping motivate others as well, right? If you really want to get just an amazing feeling, help mentor, help motivate others in things that you're good at, there's nothing better than I like to do than share what I know, share my knowledge, and really hope that it helps someone else. Always remember, too, we must have a winter before a good spring. I remember when I was in New Jersey, I had first started knocking. We got hit with a big snowstorm there. It was one of those times where I was almost out of solar, like I really almost quit. I just wasn't seeing the success I wanted. I was very new into it. I wasn't used to that temperature again, moving from Florida at the time to New Jersey in the middle of winter. It was very tough for me. I almost quit. And I remember one day I went to the woods. I had almost a mental breakdown, and my father sent me a sermon. I think it had like T.D. Bishop Jakes on there and a few other people, but they spoke about having your winter before you have a good spring. And when you have a hard winter, you really appreciate your springs and your summers, right? So remember, don't be that person that gives up an inch before hitting gold. This is a very tough job. You're going to go through some heartaches. You're going to go through some emotional distraught. You're going to go through a really tough time no matter what business it is or what new venture you're taking. But if you stick with it, and you know that you're going to get through your winter, that it's going to be an amazing spring, and the summer's even greater as well, right? So I'll tell you all a story, a little emotional one. When I was in my mid-20s, I had a friend that was very close to me, almost to like a little brother to me. I think when you can't do it for yourself, always remember or think of someone that you can do it for, right? I've talked about it before, but it triggered something in my head when I was indoors and my kids went out for Halloween and they were going and knocking. They didn't care whether the place had candy or not. They were going to every single door. But always try to remember there's people that can't do what we do, not just physically, but emotionally. And a lot of us have lost people that they just can't do what we do. To me, I had a guy that was very close to me. I won't say names, but he was very close to me, almost like a brother. I was in my mid-20s. He called me late one night. He used to help people that were addicts and things like that. And we ran restaurants in downtown Richmond, Virginia, and late one night he called me. It was about 2 a.m. or texted me. It was about 2 a.m. and said, "Hey, I need help with a buddy that had drank too much." A friend of ours that was a big guy, he had drank too much. I said, it wasn't the night for me. I'd just gotten out of work. I'd finally gotten home, and I chose not to go. So my friend went into the restaurant, went into a bar to get our friend out to try to help get him out. When he was leaving, a guy that had been at the bar all night had thought that my friend was someone that had made an approach at his wife or at his girlfriend at the time, and he punched him one time and hit my friend in the head. He fell back, he hit his head on the curb, and his brain started to hemorrhage. He went into a coma. The next call I got, I'd just gotten a little bit of rest. I woke up about 5 a.m. to the calls that my friend was in the hospital and I should come in. It was very serious. So I went in. His family was there. Several hours went by. We thought he was going to be okay. He came out of his coma and we were allowed to go see him. His family went in first, obviously, and then they said, "Warren, he wants to talk to you as well." And when I went in, he had lost. We had seen him before when he was in his coma, but now he started to look better. He started to look like he was getting a little color back, and he was able to speak. And when I tried to speak, he told me he didn't want me to say anything, and that he knew that he wasn't going to make it. And I don't know if the doctors allowed us back in knowing that he wasn't going to make it or not, but I know that he knew he wasn't going to make it. And he told me that he just wanted me to listen and that he wasn't going to be around forever, and he was losing his life at a young age, and that are going to be that I'm one of those people that were made for bigger things. And at the time, I wasn't living my life like I should. And he said he knew that I was made for bigger things, and that not to only go live my life for myself, but to go live it for him and to go live it for others that can't. So I know we've all had someone that's special to us, or something that means something to us, or someone that means something to us that maybe we've lost or maybe we haven't, that just physically can't do what we go do. But a lot of what I do still relies on that. A lot of things happen for good reasons. It's hard to understand for a long time, but make sure that even when the things negative in your life happen, that you use these things for good, and you try to use these for the positive, and that when you feel like you can't do it yourself, you make sure that you go do it for someone else who can. Hope this helps. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I hope this helps you shine brighter in every aspect of your life. Thank you so much, and enjoy the next courses and the next content as well. Thank you.